bother to confirm. "And cocaine," he finished. I had no answer. That's a 3-day thing. That had to be recent, so I fessed up. "Well, it was a Wednesday," I joked. He didn't laugh. "The doctor wants to speak with you," he said, and handed me the phone. "Hello, this is Greg speaking," I said. "Greg, Dr. Brody. I'm looking at the talk screen, and I'm a little unsure that you're still qualified for this study. It is about addiction recovery." I went through all my excuses until I arrived at cocaine. Then I explained how I was minding my own business when some rando offered me a bump. "So, let me get this straight," Dr. Brody said. "A stranger offered you free cocaine? Out of nowhere?" "I know," I exclaimed. "What was I supposed to do? Say no?" There was a long silence. Then finally he said, "Okay, I suppose if it's a one-time instance." "Oh, it was," I assured. "I've peed in a lot of bars, and that's the only time it's ever happened to me." Soon after, I was chilling in a bed being pushed down the hall to the MRI machines where I'd be injected with nuclear dye and have my brain mapped and be $100 richer. Woot woot! This was the kind of shit I had to do to survive. I wore a gorilla suit one day and handed out bananas to production houses in Santa Monica for an online startup. I did a regional ad for laser hair removal by screaming as though I'd just been waxed. I became spokesman for Santa Anita horse racing track and even worked for the Get Animated Kid exercise campaign at Six Flags. These were all pretty good gigs, but the best was yet to come. No pun intended. I found an ad for an adult film company looking for an actor. Now, again, I'm no porn star, but I did a little research. It was minimal dialogue, no nudity. When I searched the company, I learned it was all lesbian porn. They needed a male actor for lesbian porn. This would completely sink my chances of ever getting a sitcom or being a legit host for anything network, but at that point, my chances of getting struck by lightning were about the same, so I jumped on it. I sent in my headshot and resume and got a call back. This was it. I had a call time in Pasadena, and I would be playing a lawyer in a lesbian porn. I was so excited. I showed up in my sleaziest lawyer suit, met Moose, the key grip, LOL, and he said, "Nice to meet you. You're going to get an education today." Boy, did I. I was running my lines, trying to focus as I heard these actresses talk about being horny and how they needed to get laid, and having serious discussions about whether they should use the dildo on the thigh cuff with the ball gag or without it. I was in my glory. One actress, Raven S., showed up late and immediately got naked and was walking around like this was normal. And it was. I didn't stare at the girls. I just joked around with them briefly, but mostly ran my lines with the girl I had the scene with. It didn't matter. This wouldn't be an Oscar-worthy performance. I just wanted to get my motivation so I could move the thinly strung plot forward. My name was Mr. Luger, and I was upset with one of my attorneys over a cash settlement that was far below what we discussed, or some shit like that. During the argument, a mistress-type woman showed up, interrupted our meeting, got my lawyer to stand on the desk, and lifted her skirt to make sure she wasn't wearing panties. There are some priceless reaction shots where I'm smiling and nodding my approval, but honestly, her presence was out of nowhere and made no sense plot-wise. I was being helpful and all, but there was no way I was going to offer script notes this early on in my lesbian porn career. Those priceless reaction shots are short-lived, however, as the mistress holding the riding crop slapped me in the face and kicked me out of the meeting so they could make out and scissor each other. The coolest thing was that we were all acting in a lesbian porn that was being watched in the lesbian porn by Raven S., who was masturbating to our movie in the movie. I was in a porn within a porn. That's some meta shit, people. Kind of like looking at yourself in a dressing room mirror over and over, only with mistresses and whips and boobs and getting me kicked out of the office. The company was called Girlfriend Films, so search that on Pornhub if you can't find the video on YouTube or Big TV online. You'll see me and my shit-eating grin. The girls all liked me. The director did too. He said I was super professional in that I showed up early and didn't bother the girls. So, not gonna lie, for that $200, I appeared in 3 more films and got to share the screen with India Summer in one, for those of you jealous pervs out there who can appreciate that shit. Anyways, I could go on, but I don't want to turn this into one of those bullshit-sounding erotic letters that people send to Penthouse, but that's how I became a lesbian thespian. And if there's enough demand, I'll tell you all about the other films. Well, it's last call. So let me give you a tip. That coaster I just put down wasn't for your phone. Folks, it's been a blast. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. And a call to my fellow booze slingers. Send in your stories to cocktailsandwastednights@gmail.com. You can remain anonymous if you'd like. Thanks for listening, subscribing, downloading, and spreading the word. Don't be afraid to give me a good review, even if you're lying. We'll see you next week on Behind Bars, Cocktails and Wasted Nights. Cheers!